An Accra High Court, General Jurisdiction 5 this morning, threw out an application by lawyers for the embattled FDA lawyer against Manasseh Azure. Lawyers for Cynthia Dapanto wanted the court to dismiss all processes so far filed on behalf of Mr. Awuni, claiming he used care of in providing his residential address, and that meant he did not comply with the law requiring a defendant in a suit to provide his residential address. Lawyers for the first defendant, led by Samson Ladia Yenini, argued against the motion, stressing this was about the third frivolous attempt by the plaintiff to abuse the court process and delay the case. The lawyers wanted the court to dismiss all processes so far filed on behalf of Mr. Awuni, but that application was thrown out Tuesday morning. Let's now speak with the producer of the documentary, Manasseh Azure, who joins us on the telephone. So, Manasseh, how do you feel about how this is playing out in court and, in effect, causing a delay in the airing of the documentary?
Well, Israel, I must say this is not something that I'm happy about. I do recognize that if anybody has something against the work of a journalist, they have the right to be heard in court. But it is becoming a very disturbing rhythm in this country, and it started some years back. We remember what happened to Quittenati's missing kilos. That had to be held on for a long time, and I expected this injunction to at least have been heard by now so that we can go ahead to air it. And mind you, there is a defamation case, so if somebody has issue or the person has issues about the content, they can still go to court and seek redress. But when we have these delays, then it is going to empower or encourage people who would want to stifle journalistic work by going to court just to perhaps delay the process. I must say that sometimes before your story comes out, you meet people or some people are involved who tell you that, look, can you delay this story for a month or two or a week so that we do ABC? So there is a high incentive for people, if they can't even stop the story from airing, to have it delayed. And so this suit was filed, I think, on the 12th of November. And looking at the next court date, it will be about 3 months, and we still may not have heard the substantive case of the injunction.
Now, is it likely, or are there any options available to you and your lawyers to ensure that this is heard rather quickly than later?
Well, that is there for the lawyers to decide, but I think my lawyer and the lawyers of multimedia have made it a point to respect the court. So anytime even the application for injunction is filed and it's not heard, we always make the attempt to at least hold on to the airing of the journalistic piece until everything is cleared. So that is what the decision is. But as to how the processes can travel fast, I think, as my lawyer said in court, there are, I think, many attempts to get the substantive case, the hearing of the substantive case delayed, which for me is a bit strange, and it's also disturbing, not for me alone, but I think for journalists in general. If somebody gets hint that they're going to publish a story and they can put an injunction on it, or even seek to put an injunction on it, and the hearing can delay for so long, whether or not the injunction application is granted, they may end up achieving their aim and frustrating the work, because in journalism, time is of the essence.
All right. Thank you very much, Manasseh Azure. And Manasseh Azure is an investigative journalist, and he's worked on this documentary that hasn't yet been aired because the person who the documentary is about, one of the people in the documentary, wants to believe they have been defamed, and so has gone to court over that.